Member from London Fanshawe.
My question is to the Premier. Constituents are calling my London office to tell me that they can't afford their hydro bills. They are shocked at the rates that they're being charged, and they're desperate for relief. One particularly heartbreaking story was from a young couple with a baby only a few months old. Because they can't afford their hydro bill, this young mom spends her days at her parents' house to save time of use charges. But that hasn't worked. Their bills haven't changed. Premier, can you imagine the frustration and the anger these young parents are feeling because they are forced to choose between paying for your government's hydro schemes or providing for their family?
Mr. Speaker, I know that the Minister of Energy will want to speak to the specifics of our Fair Hydro Plan, but, Mr. Speaker, it is exactly because of situations like the one the member opposite has articulated that we knew that even with the measures we had taken, the 8%, Mr. Speaker, the reduction that was in place as of January 1st, that we needed to do more. We knew that we needed to do more, so another 17% reduction will mean that that young family will see a 25% reduction on their electricity bill, Mr. Speaker, come the summer. So it was exactly those situations where people were carrying too much of a burden, Mr. Speaker, too much of a burden for investments and upgrading of a system that is going to last for generations. But we were asking those people to pay now, Mr. Speaker, and a disproportionate amount. We're spreading those costs over a longer period of time, and that's how a 25% reduction will be seen on those bills come September, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, there's no comfort in passing on debt to the next generation. Premier, this young family lives in a semi-detached, nothing large. They don't have electric heat, nor do they live in their own house during the day. Despite taking drastic measures like not living in their home during the day, their hydro bills are still way too high. Premier, you have failed young families like my constituents, and worse, you have put their ability to provide for their child at risk. When will this government take responsibility for their failed energy policies that you are forcing young families to pay for, and when will we see your new Liberal plan?
Thank you.
Minister of Energy.
Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's good news for families like what the honourable member mentioned in relation to our Fair Hydro Plan. Up to 25%, or on average 25%, will be coming to actually help families just like them, Mr. Speaker, and that's good news for every family right across the province. And on top of that, Mr. Speaker, if this family qualifies, if they're low income, Mr. Speaker, we'll make sure that they can get access to the Ontario Electricity Support Program, where they'll actually see an additional 50%, Mr. Speaker, to help them. And that's what we're making sure that we're doing, Mr. Speaker, helping every single family, small business and farm in this province through the Ontario Fair Hydro Plan, Mr. Speaker. On that side of the House, Mr. Speaker, one party has no plan, the other one has a plan that does vague context, Mr. Speaker, that doesn't take 1 cent off of anybody's bills, Mr. Speaker. We're doing more than that. We're taking 20.